Hey guys, and welcome back to the next video. Thank you for coming back, and we are beginning the fourth part. So let's do this. He refused it. It's $2. So he said, "How's that?" I asked. Plainly heard you call out at the hotel. 50 cents to any part of the town. It's $2, sir. He repeated obst- obstinately. 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 Ooh, obstinately. It's a long ways from the hotel. It's within the city limits and well within them, I argued. Don't think that you have picked up a greenhorn Yankee. Do you see those hills over there? I went on, pointing toward to the east. I could not see them myself for the drizzle. Well, I was born and raised on their other side. You old fool nigger. Can't you tell people from the other people when you see them? Can't you tell people from other people when you see them? The grim face of King Siriwaya softened. Is you from the south, sir? I reckon it was them shoes of yourn fooled me. There is something sharp in the toes for the southern gentleman to wear. Then the carriage is 50 cents, I suppose, said I inex, inex, inexorably. Inexorably. His former expression, a mingling of cupidity, and hostility, returned, remained 10 minutes, and vanished. Boss, he said, 50 cents is right, but I need $2, sir. I'm obliged, obliged to have $2. I ain't demanding it now, sir. After I knows where you's from, I'm just saying that I has to have $2 tonight, and business is mighty poor. Peace and confidence settled upon his heavy features. He had been luckier than he had hoped. Instead of having picked up a greenhorn, ignorant of rates, he had come upon an inheritance. He had come upon an inheritance. You confounded old Rachel, I said, reaching down into my pocket. You ought to be turned over to the police. For the first time, I saw him smile. He knew. I gave him two $1 bills. As I handed him over, I noticed that one of them had seen Parlow's times. Parlow's times. Its upper right hand corner was missing, and it had been torn through in the middle, but joined again. A strip of bubble tissue paper passed it over the split, preserve, preserved its negotiability. Enough of the African bandit for the present. I left him happy, lifted the rope, and opened the creaky gate. Creaky. The house, as I said, was a shell. A paintbrush had not touched it in 20 years. I could not see any. I could not see why a strong wind should not have bowled it over like a house of cards until I looked again at the trees that hugged it close. The trees that I saw the Battle of Nashville and still drew their protecting branches around it against storm and enemy and cold. Azalea there, 50 years old, white haired, a descendant of the Cavaliers, as thin and frail as the house she lived in, robed in the cheapest and cleanest dress, robed I ever saw, with an air as simple as a queen's, received me. The reception room seemed a mile square, because there was nothing in it except some rows of books on unpainted white pine bookshelves, a cracked marble top table, a rug, 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 hairless horsehair sofa, and three chairs. Yes, there was a picture on the wall, a colored crayon, a crayon drawing of a cluster of pansies. Pansies. I looked around for the portrait of Andrew Jackson and the pine cone hanging basket, but they were not there. Azalea there, and I had converse, had conversation, a little, of which will be repeated to you. She was a product of this old South, gently nurtured, nurtured, in the sheltered life. Her learning was not broad, but was deep and of splendid originality in its somewhat narrow scope. She had been educated at home, and her knowledge of the world was divided from inference, inference, and by inspiration, of such as the precious small group of essayists made. While she talked to me, I kept brushing my fingers, trying unconsciously to rip them guilty of the absent dust from the half calf backs, half calf backs of Lamb, Chaucer, Hazlitt, Marcus Aurelius, Aurelius, Montaigne, and Hood. She was exquisite. She was a valuable discovery. Nearly everybody nowadays knows too much. Oh, so much too much of real life. I could perceive clearly that Azalea there was very poor, and between my duty to the magazine and my loyalty to the poets and essayists who fought, fought Thomas in the valley of the Cumberland. I listened to her voice, which I listened to her voice, which was like a harp, sick, harpsichord, harpsichord, and found that I could not speak of contracts in the presence of the nine muses and the three graces. One hesitated to lower the topic to 2 cents. There would have to be another colloquy, colloquy after I had regained my commercialism. But I spoke of my mission, and, and 3 o'clock of the next afternoon was set for the discussion of the business proposition. Your town, I said, as I began to make ready to depart, which is the time for smooth generalities, seemed to be a quiet, sedate place. A hometown, I should say, where a few things out of the ordinary ever happen. Okay, guys, that was the what was the part? That was the first part, and it's over. It's over, and see you tomorrow on the next one. Bye.